thanks to the support as a channel member, Ken Davenport. Well, I've sacked all my staff, so we need a staff rebuild. We've got cup run money and takeover money to spend, even though I haven't really been given any of it, but there's money in the bank. We need to add the finishing touches to this squad so we can just storm through this league. We want to win a league title for the first time in this save, and we're building that team right now. Hello and welcome to part 37 of Wembley to Wembley. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, it is our season review and transfer special, and we kick things off with that season review at the end of a season that was definitely a season of overachievement, and I think it's definitely fair to say that our best signing of the season, Tom Best, brought him in on a free transfer from MK Irish, 15 goals, 21 assists and a 7.13 average rating. If we can bring in a few more like him over the course of this summer, we will be laughing. The only problem, of course, is that he is wanted by Bradford Park Avenue, so it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to keep hold of him. I mean, he would fetch a fee if we sold him because he's got a year left on his contract, but obviously we want to be able to keep him. We've got to keep our best players and build around them. That's the plan. We were supposed to get relegated. There you go. Attempt to avoid relegation. That's the you won't even get sacked if you get relegated message. So we were supposed to attempt to avoid relegation. We ended up finishing 7th and actually being in with a shout of getting into the playoffs. So it was another season of overachievement. Anton Canerva has been given top goal scorer despite the fact Jamie Sant scored more goals than him. Most complete version of Football Manager they've ever made. This is highlights of the season. Financially, look at that. I'm still being told I've got to rebuild the club's financial damage. That is my contribution to rebuilding the club's financial damage. This is the difference that a cup run can make. And also a new sponsorship deal as well, which is a pretty significant one. I mean, it's less than £5,000 a year. That covers the wages for 2 weeks. But I don't know. In the Premier League, how many weeks does a shirt sponsorship cover salary for? Probably more than 2, I guess. But sponsorships have doubled, so that's a nice little metric. We got broadcast revenue for the first time, and then all of this stuff increased because of the cup runs, so corporate and hospitality, competition prize money, match day income. Obviously, we can't rely on any of that being in again this season because we're not going to make it to the second round of the FA Cup every year. That's nonsense. But it certainly was a nice little boost for this season just gone. And this was our team of the year. So Agüero in goal, a back four of Chatter, Omar, Duffy and Leroy, Macaulay and Burton Jones in midfield, Taylor, Sant and Best behind Canerva up front. They still think we're playing wing play. That team will look different when the new season starts. Tom Best has had a bit of a sweep here. Fans Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year, signing of the season, most assists, most man of the matches, highest average rating. Best is best. We've been saying it all along, and now we've got it as proof. He's also set the club record for most assists in a season, most man of the matches in a season. We really love that boy. And hopefully he doesn't leave this summer. Sant did get top scorer on this screen, just not on the other one. He also got goal of the season. And Leroy was the naughtiest boy we've ever had. And Anton Canerva is now, and probably was already, and I think he's just going to keep extending that for as long as he's at the club, our all-time record goal scorer with 61 goals now in Anton Canerva's Wembley career. I'm still in two minds about whether or not we move Canerva on this summer. I just haven't decided. This is our all-time best 11. So a lot of these boys are still at the club now. The one that got away, Josh Gray, I would love to bring him back. I wonder if we could bring him back. Is he good enough to play for us now, do we think? He's under offer from Chester United. Do you want to come back, Josh? Oh, we can't. Why can't we even? Do we have to actually make an offer? I'm not going to make an offer. I'll bring him in on a freebie. I'm not going to make an offer for him. Of course, Sean Martin went to Tilbury and has probably found his level. 6.51 suggests he'll find his level in a year or two when he drops down even further. Dom Pearce, similar situation, went to play for the Bristol MFers and not really setting the world alight, is he? There's a lot that can be done to improve this football club in this all-time best 11, and that is a job for now. Here's your confirmation as well that we've got rid of all of the staff, or most of the staff. These ones the board wouldn't let me get rid of. Ironically, these are the youth staff that shouldn't be here anyway because we don't have a youth setup. I actually wanted to make William Worry my former midfielder. I wanted to make him my assistant manager. He wasn't interested in becoming assistant manager. He would rather stay as under-21s manager, which baffles me really because surely assistant manager is a step up. but he wasn't interested, so he remains under 21s manager, even though we don't have under 21s. So I guess we just move him on anyway as soon as we can. He's out of contract. I guess we just don't renew those contracts and let those guys leave. We're trying to bring in new staff and, of course, trying to bring in new players. I don't quite know who's judging the player ability at the moment in the absence of any staff at the club. But we've got a lot of these boys who are out of contract. It's everyone from Duffy, who, of course, is in on loan, all the way down to Drakos. All of them are out of contract this summer. And I think we've just reached the point where these one-star guys just shouldn't be getting new deals. Anton Canerva, he's the one I keep coming back to, but he's on £80 a week, which makes him one of the higher paid players at the club. 1-star current ability, 2.5-star potential. It's sad, but I think we let him leave. I'll see what my new assistant manager says. Priority number 1, get some new staff in. Well, we've spent the first month of the transfer window basically getting all of our new staff in, and as you can see, they are now in place, including no loan manager anymore, and also no one who can really coach goalkeeping or fitness. We're very much going down the technical route this year. What are we supposed to do with such a small number of coaches available to us? The main headlines, I mean, you don't need to get to know all of the coaching staff really, but we do have a new assistant manager who's quite good. If I can find him, there he is, Ross Ridley. Much better at judging player ability. That's going to be a huge difference maker when it comes to those star ratings, and we'll go and see what difference it makes to the star ratings in a second. Also, William Worry, who was the under-21s manager and refused to become the assistant manager when he realised his contract was running down, did sign a new contract as a first-team coach. So he's a massive upgrade on what we had in the coaching staff before. And as far as physios are concerned, we were particularly concerned about a really particular kind of injury. So got the most appropriate man for the job to come in and help us with those kind of injuries. Willy joke. Can I do a coaching course yet? No, I can't. Brilliant. Right, let's have a look. Based on how, in fact, if we go into responsibilities, how do I decide who is doing... Right, William Worry's doing player reports. How do you choose who does the star ratings? I think coaching advice from Ross Ridley means he's doing them. Or it could be Worry who does the player reports. But, I mean, he's got good judging as well. So either of them are an upgrade on what we had before. So if we have a look, particularly at Anton Canerva, yeah, he's gone. Anton Canerva's gone, boys and girls. We've already signed some new strikers to replace him. We've signed Simon Jones, who is a young Welsh striker, 20 years old, 2.5 stars of current ability. So his current ability is equivalent to Canerva's maximum potential, and he's got 5 stars of potential. We know potential doesn't mean a lot at this level because the players don't really fulfill it, but he's already as good as Canerva could get, supposedly. Similar with Will Wickenden, who can also play in midfield, but he's another one who's 2.5 stars of current ability, 5 stars of potential. Neither of them have scored a lot of goals previously, so I don't know that we're necessarily going to be getting huge upgrades on goals scored, but they are in. We've got our new boys in. We've got 3 players who can play as a striker. We haven't renewed any player contracts yet, which is why there's so few players in all the positions. That's my job for now. We've sorted the staff. We now have some of the best coaching in the league in certain areas. Defensive, attacking, technical, set pieces. We are the best in the league at all of that. Our recruitment is certainly improved as well. We are going to be a little below average on goalkeeping and fitness, but it'll be fine. Now, with a month to go before free transfer day, it's time to have a proper look at this first team squad, work out who's going to be getting new contracts and how much money we might have to spend going into the 1st of July. This is a big interview. Gillingham off of League 2, or I guess they're going to be National League next year, but my word. If this was non-league, there was none of this. I'm well into double figures for interview offers. Non-league to legend, we got 3, I think, in the entire save. How different things could have been on FM24 if that had worked from the start. Well, we've made it through to the 1st of July, and the big news is I caved and gave Anton Canerva a 1-year extension. I can't quite bring myself to part with him yet. He's the one piece of nostalgia I'm holding on to. You can't get away from the fact that he's our all-time top goal scorer. He's also our most influential player. He's our captain. He's not good enough to play for us anymore. He'd be our fifth, or he is our fifth choice striker, our backup right winger. I guess there's an argument that he could start on the left-hand side, but as you can see, he's not very good at playing on that left-hand side. But he is in. We renewed quite a few other contracts as well. We're also trying to extend Tom Best's contract just to make sure he doesn't sneak away from us. Lots of players have been released. If we have a look at the released players, unfortunately, lots of the name in the game channel members, the youngsters have gone. A lot of our youth players that we had knocking around have gone as well. But a few players who were in and around the first team squad, even Ethan Davies was around the first team squad. He's probably the only significant first teamer who we've let go. Rob Harley has also gone out on transfer to West Bridgford. I don't think we've signed anyone new. No, it's just still those two strikers. I think I'd shown you both of those before. But this is what the squad looks like. It is a first team squad of 17 players, because that's a greyed out goalkeeper. We do still have a few young players around who are under contract for another year. We've put every single one of them on the transfer list or the loan list. So we're going to be trying to get rid of all of these guys. But with the bulk of the youth players that we had moving on, we do still have some decently significant spare wage budget, even with a first team squad that's already close to full. I mean, 17 players. If we were to bring in another 3 or 4, that should be enough. 3 or 4 permanent signings and then a couple of loans. That should be more than enough to see us look a very good side this coming season. If we look at what we actually need, we only have the one goalkeeper, Lewis Clayton, who's been here a year, never really established himself, and he's happy. He's halved his salary. He was on £140 a week before. He's dropped down to £70 a week as our backup keeper, so we need to bring someone in over the top of him. But then at left back, we've got Chadder, who's signed a new contract. Kemmerer has signed a new contract, so those two are both fine. Leroy is good as a right back, but we're going to need another one because Albert Wood is going to be playing centre back. Duffy, we need to remove from our thingy list, whatever it's called. How do you even do that? I don't think you can do it from that screen. That seems bonkers. We need to get him off of our shortlist from here. There you go. You can remove him there, but you couldn't remove him from the shortlist on the previous screen. Most complete version of Football Manager they've ever made. But we have got Chris Edwards, who came in on a free transfer towards the end of last season, having previously been with us on loan. So he's here. Wood, Burton Jones is a midfielder. We've got Omar, who played a lot of games, then kind of fell out of favour as the season went on last year. I wouldn't be upset if he moved on. In fact, I'm going to transfer list him. I don't know how he ended up coming in on a 2-year contract anyway, but on £210 a week as well. I think we need to move him on. And then Drakos can be there as a backup. As our holding midfielders, we've got Burton Jones, Macaulay and Downey. We need one more in there. Attacking midfielders, Chris Wright is really the only one, with Sant going back to his parent club. Wickenden can play there, but probably won't. So we need another guy in there. On the right, we've got Best, and then Canerva and Odo can be the backup. On the left, we don't really have anyone because Butterfield is going to play striker. So we need a left winger or two. Obviously, those guys can rotate and cover in there. And then up front, Best will be on the right. Butterfield will probably be the striker. And then you've got the youngsters, Jones and Wickenden, who can compete with Butterfield, and Canerva just kind of filling in wherever he might be needed. So top priorities, we need a goalkeeper, right back and a left winger, and then probably a central midfielder. And that would be good. If we can bring in 3 or 4 real good players in those positions, I will consider that a pretty decent summer of transfers. We're already 10th favourites for promotion, so the media are thinking a little bit more highly of us this year than they have done before. The board are looking for us to finish mid-table. We've already failed repairing the club's financial damage. I'm certain that's a bug at this point, because the finances are fine. There's nothing more I can do about this. I'm within all my budgets. They just need to chill out. But it's be competitive in all the cups. So really, it's just a case of trying to bring in the right guys who can fire us into a promotion push. We're actually in the same league as #United this year as well. So that means I get to put them on a thumbnail. That's very handy. When do we play them? We're going to have to do that in a video, aren't we? To get all the 9-year-olds in. Let's sign some free transfers. So first batch of free transfers are in, first batch of trialists. We've also got a couple of players out. So we're just, like I say, going to be trying getting rid of all of the youngsters to free up more money. But we have got 3 new signings. Gary Rowe is a defensive midfielder, 20 years old, 3 stars current ability, 5-star potential. only on £100 a week as well. He comes in from Didcot, having previously played for the Posh, so he must be good. And then we've got this guy who does actually look good. I mean, he's a little bit short for a centre-back at 5'11", but Senk Easton, Kenk, how do you say his name? Senk, I'm thinking. He's a 19-year-old centre-back, 3.5 stars of current ability, so much better than any other centre-back that we've got previously of Boston, higher up the pyramid, and was with Deal Town on loan last year, and we got a Deal Town on him, bringing him in on a free transfer. And then Connor Gibson is a left back. We didn't necessarily need a left back, but he's had a weird little career trajectory. He started at Cirencester, joined Derby on a free transfer. They had him for a year and released him, and he's come now straight back to Wembley at our level. But again, much better than anyone we've got at left back currently. It does mean we do still have gaps in the squad in key positions. We still need a goalkeeper. We still need a left winger, but the defence is certainly looking a lot stronger than it was previously, as is the midfield. And I think the big focus now very much on a goalkeeper and a left winger. We've still got plenty of money, and that will increase as well, because if we have a look at outgoing offers, there's a lot of these youngsters who are going to be moving on, and every one of those that goes, that's £25-30 a week going back into the wage budget as well. So we'll do another round of trying to find free transfers and then start looking at loans. We've still got 3 weeks until the season starts, so we've got a little bit more time than we had when we were lower down in the pyramid. So let's do another round of trialists. What did the first set of transfers? The media still not thinking we're ready for promotion. Our old rivals, Rayners Lane, still neck and neck with us. They're just going to come up the leagues with us, aren't they? We've got to finish above them. That's got to be priority number one. But let's do another round of freebies and try and bring someone very, very good in. That's the plan. We want very, very good football boys. So another week or so have passed. As you can see, a bunch more of the fringe and youth players have moved on, which is very, very helpful financially. And we finally have a goalkeeper. Callum Smalley is a 6'4" full-size goalkeeper. He's 24 years old. He's got 3.5 stars of current ability. He was playing for Shaftesbury previously, who are in the... I think that's the same level as us. Yeah, so they were playing in... Actually, no, he was regional number 187. So he was actually playing a league higher. Shaftesbury play in the league above us. So he's been a regular starter in the league above for the last couple of years, and he's now dropping down to play for us. And we finally have a proper starting goalkeeper, which I'm delighted about. And Jack Riley is another centre-back, another shorter centre-back, 5'11". We're going to have a 5'11" centre-back partnership, which is not ideal. But I think at this level, you either get a big lump or you get someone who's good at defending. And we've often gone for the big lumps in the past. This year, we're going for the ones who are good at defending. And to be fair, a jumping reach of 12 is not too bad. So I think we can probably cope. If we have a look at what that does to the squad depth, we finally have a goalkeeper in place. The back four is looking very, very solid. We could do with one more right back, but money is starting to get a little bit tight. Obviously, we've still got loans to do as well. The midfield is fine. We really need wingers, though. We've got Best to start on the right. Butterfield at the moment is going to have to start on the left, with Canerva backing them both up. And with those two starting out wide, it means our starting striker is going to be one of Jones, Wickenden or Canerva, who's the first reserve in those positions as well. So we've also got Wickenden as the only backup to Chris Wright in attacking midfield. And Wright wasn't spectacular when he came in last year. So I think we've sorted out the goalkeeper, the defence and the midfield. Everything we do from this point on needs to be about bringing in forwards. We do still have more young players to move on, so although it looks like there's not much wage budget left, once these guys have all moved on, some of that does start to free up again. So I think we can probably make 1 or 2 more permanent signings yet, and then we do start to look at the loans. Well, we've managed to get a winger in on loan. Les Giles has come in from Marlow. He's not hugely impressive. He's not particularly quick. 2.5 stars of current ability. Did play 36 times and got 19 goal contributions in the Western League Division 1 last year. But I think that's a tier 10 league. But I mean, he played well at that level, so hopefully he can take the step up and play well at our level this year. We are still trying to bring in a couple more because we've been able to finance that by getting rid of Ali Omar, who was the guy on £210 a week that we did not want. We've managed to shift him on, and somehow he's managed to pick up a pay rise as well. So we are still within wage budget. Obviously, if we sign everyone we're trying to sign, we go back over it. But we probably won't sign everyone we're trying to sign. We don't necessarily need both of these guys, but we've got some more players we're trying to get in. We are struggling a little bit with loans, so we're not we're holding our fire on loans at the moment. And I think actually I am going to keep going on this video until we get to the #United game, because I think clickbait wise I've got to show you that, haven't I? So we'll play these games off camera, so we'll continue completing this transfer window, and then tomorrow's episode will be #United and Phoenix Sports. So still 2 or 3 weeks more transfers yet. Let's not get knocked out of the FA Cup in the qualifying round, eh? The extra preliminary round. Why are we still playing in the extra preliminary round? We're in tier 8 now. Tier 9, tier 7. I don't know what tier we're in. 8, I think we're in tier 8. Well, last summer was all about signing Tom Best, so I figured the best thing to do to try and replicate that was to sign another Best, Raheem Best. We no longer know which Best is best, but Raheem Best is in. 3 stars of current ability, 5-star potential, can play on the left wing and attacking midfield, so we'll be able to offer us some competition for places in both those positions. And I think our squad is pretty much done. Certainly money-wise, it's pretty much done. We could maybe squeeze one more player in. It looks like we've got this big weakness on the right-hand side, but that's Anton Canerva's spot. We've got to bless him. We've got to fit him in somewhere. Our club captain, our all-time record goal scorer. He's just in free fall career-wise, but we're squeezing him in, and it does make the squad look like it's got a bit of a weakness on there. But everywhere else, I think we are looking pretty strong. It's a squad of 24 players, which is still probably a little big for this level. We've still got a few youngsters that we need to be moving on as well. And there's a couple of these that might leave on loan as well, the likes of Mike Kemmerer. Will probably head out on loan. Stephen Stewart will probably head out on loan. So we might yet dip back into the transfer market for some more signings, but I don't think we need to rush, because we've started the season in the same kind of really good form we ended last season in. It was a little bit of hard work to get through the extra preliminary round of the FA Cup. We needed a replay, but we did make it through. I mean, they looked like I hadn't realised this as it was happening, but the goal scorers on the 2 FA Cup games, it's like exact replicas. Not quite at the same points of the game, but Butterfield, then Wright, then Best. That's how you do the FA Cup, apparently. Best has just started the season in incredible form. He's probably too good for us. 4 goals in 5 appearances in all competitions, a 7.9 average rating so far. But that Best is best. I said we didn't know which Best is best. That Best is best. We know that Best is best. If the other Best is as good as that Best, then we'll be the best, and that would be great. And you can put that on a t-shirt, boys and girls. Giles is also looking better than expected. I mean, he was a goal-scoring winger for Wantage Town last year, and he seems to have started that way for us as well, averaging a 7.67 across the first 3 league games. Butterfield is scoring goals as well, certainly in the FA Cup. I hate that. He's only got the 1 in the league, but 4 in 6 across all competitions suggests that he's going to fill that spot up front for us. And this game against Horndean was a top of the table clash. So 3 games in, we're 5th in the league. The media think we're going to be hovering around just outside playoffs. I think we're in with a chance for a real promotion push this year, and hopefully a bit of a cup run as well. And we'll be able to see how both of those progress in tomorrow's episode, because we've got #United in the league, Bognor Regis in the first qualifying round of the FA Cup, just to confirm what our best 11 now is according to the game. I think that looks pretty solid. A very new look back 4 and goalkeeper, which is a huge upgrade on what we had last year. They've started the season looking pretty solid. Rowe has been a good addition to the midfield. Wright is playing better this year than he was tail end of last year. Giles looks like a good complement to Best on the wing, and Butterfield, now he's actually getting to play up front and he knows he's the nailed on regular starter, is scoring goals as well. So everything looking pretty positive, and hopefully that positivity continues into tomorrow's episode. If you've enjoyed that though, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.